All right, welcome to If My People Bible Reading. This is part 10 of the book of Job. We left off with chapter 21, verse 14. So we'll now begin verse 15. Who is the Almighty that we should serve him? What will we gain by praying to him? But their prosperity is not in their own hands, so I stand aloof from the counsel of the wicked. Yet how often is the lamp of the wicked snuffed out? How often does calamity come upon them, and the fate of Elohim allots in his anger? How often are they like straw before the wind, like chaff swept away by a gale? It is said, Elohim stores up a man's punishment for his sons. Well, let him repay the man himself, so that he will know it. Let his own eyes see his destruction. Let him drink the wrath of the Almighty. Small comment here about it is said. That is not God's word. That's not Yahweh's words. It's said. So, in other words, what is happening in the world already in the time of Job is that man has begun to call upon the Lord. And Christians say, "Oh, that's a fantastic thing." So, in those days, man began to call upon the Lord. Um, that's early in Genesis, right? Remember reading that? Is this the first time? We haven't got to it yet, but it's going to say that. And when you get to it, remember this: Adam and Eve didn't have to call upon the Lord; they were with Him. They walked in the garden with Him. So when it says that in the time of Enos, Enos is a word in Hebrew which means weak individual, invalid type. Doesn't mean good; it means bad. And it says, and when they became to call upon the Lord, or Adonai, in other words, they had left the Lord, they had left Adonai, and they had to call upon him, and they started using wizardry and sorcery and pharmacies and everything, and all kinds of objects to reach the Father, building idols and Asherah poles and places of sacrifice, and cutting out the hearts of individuals and eating the heart, and this happened all over the world. And Korah and Gorah and all these places all over the world, they thought, well, if I eat this strong man's heart, I will get stronger. That's why they ate the hearts live, right out of the body. It had to be live blood. That's why all this blood, gore, and sacrifice has been going on long before Yeshua came in the first advent. Very important that you pay attention to the book of Job, because this first book opens up questions that are not answered until you get in Genesis, and then there it kind of starts opening your eyes a little bit, and not until you get to Revelation 22 do you finally understand it. You got to read the whole book just like a book before you understand it. 99.9%, and I don't think I'm exaggerating here, of the institutionalized churches don't teach what I am telling you. So I'm just a stupid, ignorant individual that's been lost, who have asked the Lord, asked the Father every day for wisdom and understanding and discernment. I've asked every day, and I believe I've been given it. And so I appreciate all the hundreds of Bibles I've gone through, all the dozens and hundreds of churches I've been to, all the ones that I've been thrown out of. Good. Um, that's just fine. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Let's go to verse 20. Let his own eyes see his destruction. Let him drink from the wrath of the Almighty. For what does he care about the family he leaves behind when his allotted months come to an end? Can anyone teach knowledge of Elohim, since he judges even the highest? One man dies in full vigor, completely secure and at ease, and his body's nourished. His bones are rich with marrow. Another man dies in bitterness of the soul, never have enjoyed anything good. Side by side they lay in the dust, the worms cover them both. And I know full well that what you're thinking, the schemes by which you would wrong me. You say, where now is the great man's house, the tents where wicked men lived? Have you ever questioned those who travel? Have you paid no regard to their accounts? That the evil man is spared from the day of calamity, that he is delivered from the day of wrath? Who denounces his conduct to his face? Who repays him for what he's done? He is carried to the grave, and watch is kept over his tomb. The soil in the valley is sweet to him. All men follow after him, and a countless throng goes before him. So how can you console me with your nonsense? Nothing is left to your answers but falsehood. This what you hear in this story fashion, this poetic form in the book of Job is exactly how people talk today. Straight to your face. Some people just let you have it with everything they can, and they don't care. Others, they let you have it because they do care. Don't judge people necessarily. Listen to what they're saying and see their fruit. See if the fruit comes up and that your life is improved as a result of the conversations. Sweet talking to someone and never disciplining them is not what a father does. If you want a child that's, I mean, you've heard this in cliche that preachers' kids are the worst on earth. There's a reason for it. Could you imagine today if a preacher spanked his kids in front of the pulpit because they did something they certainly deserved and they knew they would learn immediately if they got spanked right in front of 1,000 people? Is that a good thing to do? No. But should it be done? Yes. Should it be done in private between the father and the son or the daughter? Absolutely. Would I, in some states, go to jail today for that? Yeah. So do most Christians kind of cower back? Extremely cowardly people? Don't judge them too much. Are they cowards? Absolutely. Are they sheep? Yes. Is a sheep dumb? Is a sheep stupid? Ignorant. Ignorance is uh, not good. It's good to be ignorant and realize it and learn from it. And then you gain wisdom. Most wisdom comes from mistakes that are corrected. Most people just don't suddenly get it flying through the air. They don't. Uh, but to continue to do something when you know the truth and you don't care and you don't even have a clue anymore, you're so lost in your behavior and your own sin, that's stupidity. Ignorance is temporary, stupid is forever. There's no excuse for stupid. Ignorance, we got excuses for. We're all ignorant when we get together, especially the Father doesn't want you hiding somewhere in the corners uh, in these last days. He wants you to be with fellow believers, not running around trying to make peace to the very end of your life in the streets with all the pagans and heathens while they're raging. Why the heathens rage? Just look out the door these days. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow morning on your news or television or iPhone, whatever you're watching, something's going to happen and they're going to stir it up, and whatever it is, that's what they're going to do. That's the theme for the day. Then you watch the news, the mainline, institutionalized, left wing, social, fanatical, communist news. And watch this. They're just like their father, Hasatan, the bad seed. They're just like the horrible seed that Hasatan has created, the GMO, medically uh, and organically changed. All right? Those people all use the same word. What's the word I've heard 100 times? Unprecedented. Where'd that word come from? Yeah, sinful people are not original. They copy off each other and they learn from their father, just like we learn from ours. Chapter 22. Then Eliphaz the Tenamite, now it's his turn to throw in his wonderful 2 cents. Where are we at here? 8 minutes and 42 seconds. We're doing okay. Can a man be of benefit to Elohim? Can even a wise man benefit him? What pleasure would it give the Almighty if you were righteous? What would he gain if your ways are blamelessness? If you're righteous and you're blameless through your father and listening to your father, that's what the father loves. If you go out and claim it and name it and on behalf of yourself, it means nothing. Verse 4. Is it your piety that he rebukes you and brings charges against you? Is not your wickedness great? Are not your sins endless? You demanded security from your brothers for no reason. You stripped men of their clothing, leaving them naked. You gave no water to the weary, and you withheld food from the hungry. Though you were a powerful man, owning land, an honored man, living in it, and you sent widows away empty handed and broke the strength of the fatherless. That is why snares are all around you, why sudden peril terrifies you, why it's so dark you cannot see, and why a flood of water covers you. In other words, a believer who claims and hears and obeys the Father, who goes left, goes right, goes off the course, who sins, goes misses misses the hitting the target he's supposed to be in every day, the Father disciplines him. So pagans and heathens and people that rage, they seem to get along just fine, and they seem happy. Although suicides are massively up right now. That's interesting, isn't it? People have no faith in something beyond themselves. But regardless, it seems like evil is flourishing. The answer is yes, yes, yes. You're not wrong. You're absolutely on the money. You are on the money, but their time is short. Verse 11. Why is it so dark you cannot see, and why a flood of water covers you? Is not Elohim in the heights of heaven? And see how lofty are the highest stars. Yet you say, what does Elohim know? Does he judge through such darkness? Thick clouds veil him, so he does not see us as he goes about in the vaulted heavens. Will you keep an old path um, that evil men have trod? They are carried off before their time, their foundations washed away by a flood. And they said to Elohim, leave us alone. What can the Almighty do to us? Yet, by the way, that's going to sound very familiar when you get to the book of Genesis and reading about Noah, times of Noah. And just as in the last days, as revealed in the end, at the very beginning, it goes back and forth. So what's in Genesis? Chapters 19 through 22, and Revelation, strikingly similar. And as in the days of Noah, so it shall be in the end days. And are we in the end days? We're right on them. How long are those end days? I don't know. Hang on. We're going for a ride. Verse 18. Yet it is he who filled their houses with good things. So I stand aloof in the counsel of the wicked. The righteous see their ruin and rejoice. The innocent mock them, saying, surely our foes are destroyed, and fire devours their wealth. Let me read that again. Verse 19. The righteous see their ruin and rejoice. The innocent mock them, saying, surely our foes are destroyed, and our fire devours their wealth. Submit to Elohim and be at peace with him. In this way, prosperity will come to you. Accept instruction. In other words, it will come to you. Is it coming to you right now? No, it says it will come to you. There's the promise. And redemption is the promise. And are you redeemed when you believe in Yeshua? There's part of the promise. It all then takes you to Genesis 14 through 18. Um, Verse 22, accept instruction from his mouth and lay up his words in your heart. And if you return to the Almighty, you will be restored. If you remove wickedness from your tent and assign your nuggets to the dust, your gold of Ophir to the rocks of the ravines, then the Almighty will be your gold, the choicest silver for you. Surely then you will find delight in the Almighty and will lift up your face to Elohim. Is it good to have lots of gold and everything like that in the last days, and gold and silver all stocked up? Let me use this small example. When you read about Solomon, it says that he was so rich, so wealthy, and so wise that in his days, gold was often collected there, and silver was so much that it was almost worthless. It was like in the streets, and it was so much an abundance that had no value. That's not a good thing. So having gold and silver treasures laid up versus the Father's words, which would you and should you take? I think you know. Verse 27, you will pray to him and he will hear you and you will fulfill your vows. In other words, you made a vow, you made a promise to Yahweh. He's not going to just do it for you. It says you will fulfill the vows. Very important. When men are brought low and you say, lift them up, then he will save the downcast. Verse 29 again, when men are brought low and you say, lift them up, then he will save the downcast. He will deliver even one who is not innocent, who will be delivered through the cleanliness of your hands. So those in your family who hear and obey and follow you, but don't have the faith that you have, their faith will be lifted up through you. So stay truthful in those last days. We have just ended chapter 22, verse 30, and we'll stop there a little short. Usually I like to go 15 minutes. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you shalom. Give you shalom. Give you peace. Till next time, bless you.